Hi, and welcome to the Science Fantasy Experience. And let's get nerdy. So, I have been toy hunting, something I've not done for a good couple of months, both on the internet and popping down to a local toy store. I've kind of just been relying on pre-orders coming in, each month, and frankly, I've not had the time to physically go out and hit at places like HMV and Game and Sonic Toys, Vintage Toy Monster, anywhere really. I've just not had the time, so relying on pre-orders has been absolutely fine. But January sales hit, some things came back into stock that I didn't expect, a pre-order dropped, and I kind of wanted to see if I could trade in some doubles of things. So yeah, this week went on a toy hunt. First up, we have got Marvel Legends Weapon X. So I got this from Comics and Cocktails in their sale, and I got this for the amazing price of $9.99, including free postage. That is phenomenal. Picking up Marvel Legends for under a tenner, I'm all about, because I never would have picked up this figure at its original full price. I think this might have been, because it's a few waves older, $24.99. I know that like the price always fluctuates with Marvel Legends. What are they now? 22. Obviously, I've done well before. I picked up Doctor Doom in a limited edition slipcase for 18. I picked up the Bombastic Bagman for 18 as well. But $24.99 is, it's a lot for a Marvel Legend, for a character that I'm not exactly massively into in terms of Wolverine. I like Wolverine, but I love Weapon X. It's an interesting backstory, and it really fleshes out who the character is. And I've mentioned before that X-Lizen videotape is one of my favourite episodes. And when, in the previous episodes, when you see him actually get the adamantium, it's full on. So to have a representation is just great, and especially for the price. Let's have a look at the box first, because the Marvel Legends boxes, unless you're getting the VHS ones, they're kind of lackluster, and I feel like I mention this every time I get one of the black box Marvel Legends one. They're not anything to write home about, but I absolutely love that image. It shows off how ripped Wolverine or Logan or Weapon X is. He's so tonk, it's untrue. In the comics, he is this ripped. You can see all that muscle tone, angry face, the full-on animalistic teeth. He's always has much longer hair when he's in the Weapon X program, and that just evokes a lot of kind of anger and just pure berserker rage. And then you get to see who else is in the wave. So I have Cable, but I didn't really want to get any others from that wave. I think Beast is really good. I think they have done a better Gambit, and you get a Caliban piece. I'm not fussed on Build-A-Figure pieces, because I never go in for full lines, and then to buy them individually, they're kind of a bit pricey. The only one I've ever been interested in is Sauron, because I like the Savage Land, but that's by the by. He also comes with an awful second head sculpt that I just think it's quite a poor execution of his face. The hair's like well molded, but it's rubbish. I'm more about the figure. Sometimes you don't want to go for a full naked, all skin action figure, but obviously this is, you know, how he's sent into, you know, the training or into the field in combat. All he's got is the monitoring devices and the helmet feeding him, you know, the imagery and the messages, and then all the wires pumping in. What I love about certain Marvel Legend figures, and the same goes with Cable and Maverick, is they really over accentuate the kind of the tech that they have. You know, those computer boxes and monitoring devices, they're not actually that, I don't know, overly exaggerated in the comic, but I think for the figure they've got to be that big and monstrous, because it just adds to the figure. And it's beautifully well sculpted. There's little grazes and dents. As you can see, he's got the much longer hair that protrudes on the side. All this is malleable, so it does move around. He's not hindered by the tech either, and as you can see, you can get that really dynamic squatted pose, because he's only like, what is he, 5'2", 5'3", so he's a tiny person when it comes to stature, but he just looks great. And there is little bit flashes of hair, so it's not like he's a completely all skin tone. I just think at the bargain price of a tenner, I wasn't gonna pass that by. And if you've ever seen my videos before or heard me talk about toys, I like companion pieces. And because I gave a shout out to Maverick in my top toys of 2022, he's the perfect companion piece, being that Maverick is also part of Weapon X. And as you can see, the scaling on these two is absolutely perfect. Maverick is like easily in the 6'1", 6'2", and then you've got the wee little Canadian guy next to him. I love my companion pieces. Just two figures sitting on a shelf together that absolutely pop. Scourge and Cyclonus. Who else do we have? Your Grey Ghost and Batman. There's various companion pieces in my collection, and I just want to keep making more. Now that I have actually Apocalypse, I can whack Cable with Apocalypse. I just wanted Apocalypse because he was big and beefy. But yeah, bargain. Toy line of the year, Action Force by Valaverse. So, Blowback, pre-order, just come in, and the Jungle Commando came back in stock, so I grabbed him. Originally, I was never interested in picking up the plain characters, the Urban one and the Riot. But I kept on looking at images of the Jungle Commando, and I was just like, I've missed out here, haven't I? It's nice to have just a standardized green shirt, just an absolute soldier. And yeah, he came back in stock, so I jumped on the chance to pick up this guy and grab the extra accessories pack for him, because it comes with a sniper rifle, backpack, helmet. But I've swapped out some bits and pieces. So I've given him an African-American black head, obviously holding his backpack. I've given him the silver, I think you can't actually see it, given him the silver handgun, just to add some extra silver accents to match his cabina and his switchblade. And I have given him an assault rifle, which was in the Charlie weapons pack, just to make him a more soldier as opposed to a sniper. I think he's kind of meant to be a sniper, but yeah, I wanted him to be just full soldier, but obviously giving him some night ops equipment. I dig him. It's not, as I say, it's nice to have just a very plain figure to juxtapose against the likes of Condor and Duster and Steel Brigade, because they're so great. Every character is so unique. It's nice to take a step back and just see a full soldier. Blowback's awesome. So he is, let me get this right, a squad advanced marksman. Yeah, squad advanced marksman. So yeah, he comes with the full-on sniper rifle. He comes with night ops bits and pieces. But the placement of his tech is quite different to the other figures. So his knife is on the front, his cabina. He's also got his water bottle, his communication. He's got colour matching weapons. That's what I'm all about. And extra magazines. So yeah, I didn't want to switch out any weapons for this guy because he comes with the magazines for that specific gun. Awesome face sculpt, really so realistic. He's got a nice little bit of 5 o'clock shadow, beautifully sculpted hair. He looks like someone who is in the military, a really kind of dedicated trooper, knows his business when it comes to seeking out targets. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised with this guy, because at first look you'd think he'd be quite a plain, well, not plain, but he's a bit more muted compared to, say, the Swarm Trooper or Kerek or the Cavalry. So, and again, it's just the subtle detail. So he you know, he looks like he's in a unit with, say, the Sarge, and he'd work perfectly next to Flint. Yeah, I'm loving this guy. I'm loving the whole Action Force. I say it every video that they appear in. It's just, it's so exciting to have something to go alongside G.I. Joe. You know, I can pick up the classic characters that I love from G.I. Joe, which, you know, fulfills my military need of action figures. And then I've got a brand new, exciting set of story characters with, you know, new ones being revealed, you know, each time. I'm fully on board with it, but you guys know that already. And finally, a toy hunt out in the wild. So I popped down to the Vintage Toy Monster. It's literally a 10-minute bus ride down the road from me. And I went armed this time with a doubled up Super 7 figure, and I figured, do you know what, I'll sell it, because I don't need one in the box as well as one on display. I'm just like, I've gone past the point of picking up doubles now, really. So I thought I'd sell that, but with the intention of buying something there. So I exchanged it, a like for like kind of price point, if you will. And obviously I went there with my usual toy hunting mentality of like, let's just be completely open and something will jump out. It always does. And I get a thrill, I get an absolute buzz when I kind of see something unexpected and it captivates me. Even though it happens most times with a toy hunt, it's still super exciting. And I saw it on the back behind the counter and I was just like, okay, that's what I want. I grabbed NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Shredder. It took me by surprise that I'd be in for it. But I dig the colours, and I just thought to myself, I have the San Diego Comic-Con Game of Turtles, and I absolutely adore them. And as I mentioned before in other videos, and in this one, I love companion pieces. So I thought, why not get their arch nemesis? Technically, Turtles in Time was like the 4th arcade game, and the Game of Turtles are based on the first, but they both use that same pixelated imagery. But I was just like, yeah, he got it down from the shelf and I was just like, oh my God, this is absolutely awesome. The colours, it looks so, like, I want to say not mid-90s, but it looks like it could be 92, 93. I'm sure I played like some version of this on the Super Nintendo. Turtles on hoverboards. But I'd forgotten certain bits and pieces about Shredder in the game. So obviously he comes with his lightsaber. He comes with Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber. I'd forgotten that was his kind of weapon. And it comes with the, I don't know if you'll see it in the box, the Electro Grabby Hand and his Power Punch. It can't stay in the box though, can it? Freedom! Oh my God, he's epic. Vibrant. He looks like he has jumped off an arcade machine. The cyan, the magenta, the greeny yellow, it pops. I love it. It's exceptional. I'm familiar with the Shredder Mole as I have the Toon version, and it's a complete redeco. Like, nothing is different in terms of moulding, but the plastic definitely feels different, because I think the way that it's painted, it's got that chalky feel, which I've mentioned before on other action figures, and I love the chalky feel of figures. That they work well for matte colours, and they're just lovely to handle. Soft Goods cape, the revelation of a few years ago when I embraced soft goods, totally works. If it had been a plastic cape, I would have been happy. You know, Mumra works with both a soft cape and a hard plastic cape, but Shredder needs to have a floating cape for sure. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber absolutely pops, and it's huge, but it works. You have got, I've switched out obviously the hands, so you get a martial arts signature Shredder hand, but it's phenomenal. It's so good. It's going to look amazing next to the Turtles. It's the pixelation that sells it. Since when is pixelation a good thing? You know, you load up the internet and, you know, your picture's all pixelated because you've picked an image that's too big. But that's, you know, that's what gaming was all about back then. You know, your sprites were big and blocky. It just adds an extra dimension and diversity. I've loved Turtles for a long time, since the start, and I enjoy pretty much every iteration of the Turtles. It constantly rejuvenates itself, but it will always be that original kind of late 80s, early 90s Turtles for me. The Hunt has just found me something interesting for my collection once again. The Electro Grabby Hand, one of the more interesting accessories I have in my collection, but again, it pops. That yellow, the fade into white. I guess it's kind of a, you know, a signature thing with the game, which I didn't remember. But never mind, it's there, and if I want to use it, you know, I might, if I just want some dynamic posing capabilities. It's there to be creating. Not forgetting Ken's flaming Dragon Punch accessory. It's wicked. It's really cool. Pops. Everything pops. You'd think those accessories would be a bit too wacky, but it just absolutely accompanies it. This I really like a lot more than the lightsaber, actually. I really dig that. I guess I associate the sword more with the original Playmates toy, because I always figured that Shredder was just much more hand-to-hand combat. I dig it. I absolutely love this thing. It's incredible. In the back of the box, which I hadn't noticed, but I kind of expected, being that Wild Stallions gets a backdrop of the garage, and the San Diego Comic-Con had a street scene, you get a Technodrome, which they're lovely little extra pieces to have. I don't use them, but just a lovely addition. If you were to get this as a standalone piece, perfect little backdrop for sure. Needs a bit of strengthening. It's a thinner card, but yeah, just a wonderful little addition. Unexpected and eclectic way to start the year, that's for sure. I've been Rudy Sassoon, and always remember, it's as much about play as it is display. Thanks for watching.